So we're about to touch on this whole stormcasting thing, but before that, I got to let you guys know where you can find us at thebaccanalsquad@gmail.com. If you want to chop it up, be a guest on the show, give us your thoughts, tell us how we messing up. It's all good. Hit us up at thebaccanalsquad@gmail.com. That's the BACCHANALSQUAD@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram and Twitter at _Bacchanal. And we're killing it on Facebook. Join the Facebook conversation at the Bacchanal Podcast fan page. Let's get into this casting, man, and see what you guys thought of it.
I'm distracted by your chest hairs poking out.
You love it, eh? Got you feeling away, don't it?
Got me
it's okay, man. It's 2020. Live your truth, baby.
With the chest all out.
Live your truth, cuz. It's all good, man. I ain't for that, but I ain't with you like that. You know what I mean? I got me a girl.
It's all love, man.
Live your truth, cuz. Live your truth. Got you feeling good, huh? All right.
The chest hair out, man. Casey trying to get his sexy flexy out.
You cutting your hair yourself on your own now?
Yeah. Can't you tell?
That shit blindfolded. Holy.
Cut my hair blind, nigga. Just
doing it like this while driving. Golly.
The dust. Look at this.
It's all good. Go against the grain next time so it's nice and even, No patchy.
Is it patchy?
We'll let the YouTube viewers decide that.
I'm going bald. That's what that is.
Comments. Is he patchy?
Let's do a poll. How patchy is Akil?
So stormcasting, man. How do we feel about this?
Let's just start throwing out names. Let's start with Beyonce.
Okay, public enemy number one.
Why?
Well,
she can't hold a movie on her own.
That was the one time the Beehive did not have her back.
Second time, because they don't buy that House of Darion clothes.
Oh shit! I saw that in the clearance rack, man.
Part 2.
I saw that in the clearance rack. I was about to buy my girl some of that, and I'm like, this is clearance rack shit. She sees like this is a clearance, she might feel a waste.
I think they were buying it in the beginning because I remember when it first came out, but as time went on, I think it kind of lost some momentum.
Thank God.
They called that shit House of Diarrhea.
But I think I really didn't know that people felt this way about her acting until now.
What?
Yeah, I didn't
Carmen,
know that.
Foxy Cleopatra, and the Gold Member.
But here's the thing. Back then, we didn't have all these platforms to really openly criticize people. Like, even when Obsession came out, I don't remember her getting any backlash acting-wise.
She was still new at it at the time, and it was like, she's getting better.
Yeah, same thing with Cadillac Records. This is the only time where I've seen people, kind of denounce her acting ability. Like, when she got cast to be in Lion King, it seemed like people wasn't really bothered until after they saw the movie. So
when she told the lines to get into formation, I think I was done.
And that's one element of acting. While voice acting is something big, and to be respected, that's one element of acting. So like, I was like, okay, this is a good move for her because she's doing voice acting. She's amazing with her voice. If they give her the right position and right thing, she can pull it off. But she seemed like she had a little bit too much power in that contract demand, where she's like, "Yo, my music got to be in this new movie," and that kind of,
They had the whole segment where they're like walking back home, and it's like, "Listen," and someone's just like,
I was in the theater. I'm like,
"What
the hell is going on here?" I paid for this shit.
Because picture Storm, Beyonce. There's gonna be singing for no reason. Like they're gonna go to Africa, and she's gonna have lightning. She's gonna be like, "Formation." I don't want that shit, man. I don't want the Beehive part of her army in Wakanda.
Storm dancing like that, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't necessarily want it. I'm not really for or against it, but if I had to like I didn't have like too strong of an opinion on it, but if they were to cast someone as Storm, I feel like Beyonce should be like, kind of like the last person on the list that they look at.
Beyonce could be Storm's mom in like one scene.
No.
She's like, "Oh, I have to ship you to America. Mutants are being killed out here. Run!
No.
Free!" And it's just one scene for Beyonce as Storm's mom. She can do that.
I can't see Beyonce as Storm.
Nah, come on, man.
I don't want light skin Storm. We already got that twice.
Put some respect on Storm's name, man. Like
I want a brown skin.
One of the most powerful Marvel mutants. Like she doesn't get her ratings. Like even the Fox cartoon didn't do her proper. You know what I mean? Like
they did okay. Like
Storm, they did her okay.
Storm would throw shade, and then Storm's also a leader of the X-Men. Like
exactly,
she's one of the leaders. It's her and Scott.
Powerful. I think that I don't know her name, but that actress from American Gods, she would make a good Storm.
Yeah, that's I wrote down names. Her name is I don't even know how to pronounce this. Yetide Badaki. So I looked her up. She has 31 acting credits, so she's been in the game for a while. She has 2 projects coming out soon. I thought she was good. I remember in American Gods, remember episode 1, Casey, when that woman put that man inside her boom boom, and he died.
I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch it? It's amazing. Watch episode 1. Like this white man, like she literally ate him with her boom boom.
That's
and he died. Kind of porn thing. And he died with such a smile. It's like, yes, black woman.
That's some kind of porn thing.
It's not it was not a porn. That was episode 1.
No, but that's some kind of weird porn erotic thing, man.
Well, I mean, it's HBO, so
you know HBO has to like push the envelope for no reason. They're like, nah, have him dissolve into her.
American Gods? I thought that was Hulu or some shit. Or
that was Amazon.
Stars. Okay, yeah, I knew it was on one of those movie channels.
Yeah.
Usually they have a lot of nudity and sexual stuff.
Oh yeah, cheeks get clapped.
I'm looking up this porn to tell you what the name is.
Cheeks definitely get clapped. So yeah, she has 31 acting credits. I think she'll be a good choice. I also chose DeWanda Wise from She Gotta Have It. Her only upcoming gig right now, she's going to be in the new Jurassic Park movie. She currently has...
Yeah, I could see her doing it.
She has 36 acting credits right now to her name, so she has the most experience out of all the names I've been seeing so far. Janelle Monae got 22 acting credits. She's currently going to be in Antebellum. She was also in Homecoming season 2. Janelle Monae's good, but
hold on. It's Janelle.
Janelle. I'm sorry, Janelle.
You good. I got you, bro.
I wrote down Janae for some reason. Janelle Monae, yes, has Antebellum coming out, which is the Jordan Peele horror project, where it looks like she's getting shipped back in time to slavery.
I honestly feel like her being in the X-Men as a group would be good, with her having a bunch of other great actors around her. She would be able to excel in that role. She would stand out. She would hold it down. She has a good confidence and powerful energy to her when she's on the screen in other shows and movies. So I feel she would knock it out the park.
But you have some Blerds out there who don't even like the relationship with T'Challa and Storm, because it was kind of shoehorned in the comics, because they're both black and African. Yeah. Let's make them get married, and that was kind of the thing. And then they got divorced later on in the comics. And then T'Challa started running down white women, like he was after Sue Storm one time. He started getting that white fever. They don't have to put that in the movies if they don't want to. They could if they want to have T'Challa get that white fever.
No, I'm saying Janelle Storm and T'Challa's relationship. They don't even touch on that.
They don't if they don't want to.
Yeah.
So that's my picks.
Yeah, I think Janelle might do a good job. I don't like I said, outside of that lady from American Gods, I'm just saying that based on looks. As far as acting wise, I don't know who will be a good Storm, but as far as looks go, I think that dark-skinned queen from American Gods should definitely get at least an audition.
Bring back Halle Berry. Bring her back.
No.
Shut up. You know what happens to a toad when they get hit by lightning? It happens to everything else.
Let her do an random African accent for a quarter of the movie, then come in with the American accent after. Just like
she was Jamaican the first one. She was like, Wagwan! Wagwan! Xavier! Who that?
Yeah.
I was like, that is not African. I was like, kind of fake Jamaican from Queens.
Yeah. Monet's got it, man. I hope Monae gets it. Her or the girl from the She's Gotta Have It show. They both.
I hope they make her powerful too. Like they show off her abilities and stuff like that real good.
Is she a level 5?
Storm has always been underrepresented.
Yes.
In the movies.
Exactly. Even the cartoon, man, in my opinion. She would just wild out for a second, get a big scene, and then someone would just be like, be gone from me, and just knock her out of the water.
Think about it,
that could not happen in the comic.
Well, if you think about it, she really hasn't had too many animated adaptations, and then also that no offense, but that 90s cartoon, I felt like it more so focused on story opposed to actual fight scenes.
Yeah.
So for instance, when it comes to fight scenes, I think the DC animated universe, Batman, Static, Batman Beyond, Justice League, I think they had some of the best fight scenes in the animated television series. But I feel like X-Men and the 90s Spider-Man, I feel like they more so focused on telling good stories.
Yeah, good narratives.
And then just having action sequences, because there's no fight scene that I would want to watch again on either one of those shows. But in regards to DC, there's a bunch of DC animated stuff.
Marvel got better. Like Spectacular Spider-Man has some of the best fight scenes.
I didn't check that one out.
That was
Disney
dope.
Plus? Is it on Disney Plus?
No, that wasn't part of the deal, man.
Damn. Okay.
I was
check it out.
I was into Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Avengers Assemble.
That was dope.
I watched both of those. They had some dope scenes in there.
And Wolverine and the X-Men was another good one. Storm's portrayed very well in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that one, I didn't necessarily really pay attention to it, but I just think at the time a lot of networks were choosing to get rid of a lot of their content that could cater to young adults, and adult themed content. If you notice, they kind of switched gears on Ben 10. They got rid of Young Justice. They got rid of.
It was all about toy sales. That's why.
Right. It seems like any show that had an older demographic of fans, they seem to all got rid of, and then just catered to middle school kids and below.
Because they're trying to sell toys at the end of the day. So.
Yep.
Right. And I think Wolverine and the X-Men, just like Young Justice, just like Avatar.
Yeah,
I think
casualty of that.
Yeah. I think they should have. Not necessarily Avatar, but Legend of Korra. They ended that. They didn't even end that on Nickelodeon. They ended that online. And what I'm trying to say is, I think all those types of shows will be better on a streaming service opposed to a network. So another one is Thundercats. Remember the Thundercats reboot?
Have you seen the new reboot?
See, and if you look at that new reboot, that's a prime example of how they want to stick to an Adventure Time, Rick and Morty, Steven Universe type of audience.
Mm-hmm. So they could sell those toys. Now, let me ask you a question, critics of the culture. Have you read the graphic novels of House of X, Power of X series of X?
No. I'm being that I'm a 90s baby, I kind of grew up watching the cartoons mostly. Yeah. So, for me, cartoons and anime was my introduction to nerd culture. So, as far as comic books go, I'm not well versed on the actual comic books. I only know storyboard or just storyline. I'm aware of the Civil War storyline and the Secret Invasion. I'm aware of these big storylines, but I don't know the details.
Let's do a quick little deep dive on House of X, because I think you'll enjoy it, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So House of X, Power of X is the rebranding and the evolution of the X-Men as a whole. It's telling the story of a woman named Moira, whose power is that she keeps getting reincarnated, and every time she's reincarnated, she keeps her memories and all the skills that she gained throughout her life. Mm-hmm. So the story starts off with her first helping out was Professor X, and she had a lifetime helping him out, and of course everything failed, and the Sentinels came and destroyed everything. So her second life, she went and she worked with Magneto, joined the Brotherhood. Everything failed with that. Fell apart. Third time, she went and then she worked with Apocalypse. She went to Africa and got to her roots and worked with Apocalypse, and then that failed, of course. So the correlation that's with X-Men, of course, is with the civil rights. So it kind of has a pro-black message where it's telling black people to come together in this story of House of X, Power of X. So what they do is they bring all the mutants together, quote unquote, the minorities. They bring them together. And then what they do is they want to focus on equity. So they get some land, and then to make money, they use the different mutagens that they have to cure different diseases. That's what brings them equity. and the moral of the story was them coming together was the best solution for them instead of them fighting.
So this is like an alternate storyline. Like
this is the new storyline. This is the new X-Men. This is what it is now.
This is Myra is from the cartoon. I believe she was Xavier's girlfriend, and he went to visit her, and her brother had superpowers.
Yeah,
I think he was
they
screaming.
had a son. She had a son.
Yeah, it was a son. Remember when they went to like Scotland or something like that?
Yeah,
and she doesn't have powers. That was Myra. So in the comic book, she doesn't think she has powers, and then she dies and comes back with her full memories of her whole life. So she realizes, holy shit, my mutant powers. I had mutant powers this whole time, didn't know, and my powers is that I could die and come back to a certain time with my memories. So she uses that superpowers to try again to unite the mutants. And she tries and fails over and over and over until everybody slowly starts to realize, all right, maybe you're right. Let's all get together. Let's build a genetic, let's use our minds, our genius to build something that we could sell to be able to have a certain equity over the different countries. So then they could have their own space and demand their own respect. So it was pretty dope.
Message.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. It's not, the plight of Black people have been the main plot of most X-Men storylines.
Yep.
As far as underlining themes goes and things like that. I remember someone made a meme. It showed Professor X talking to Magneto saying, "Eric, what about mutant on mutant crime?" Which is just basically been their argument towards each other this whole time.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that guy from Reno 911 or whatever, from White Girls. That was his argument.
Terry Crews?
Yeah, he was like, what about black on black crime? And the dude's like, yo, it's not about that. Like,
black supremacy, he was saying.
Yeah,
dumb shit.
Yeah, all that dumb shit he was saying. That's what that.
Yeah, because the message of X-Men keeps evolving. Of course, it started with civil rights, but if you look at the Bryan Singer films, his underlying message, he was kind of related to like the LGBT community. And like there's a scene where like Iceman comes out to his parents. He's like, I'm a mutant. And the parents are like, no son of mine! No son of mine will be a mutant.
You're like Buddy in your mouth?
and now in the comics, Iceman is gay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jean Grey was reading his thoughts and he was thinking about booty. And she's like,
oh my God.
Who over here thinking about that butt? And then Bobby Drake was like, me? Mind your business. Yeah. I was mad at that. She outed him for no reason. Like, you don't out people like that, man. That man was thinking about clapping cheeks and
that's why.
She outed them. She was reading people's minds and she's like, who over here thinking about dicking down all these dudes? And he's looking like, bitch, why you put me out there like that?
You want Buddy in your mouth? What? Caribbean parenting.
do you guys feel like that stuff is kind of pushed a little bit too much towards black actors and black characters?
Yes.
Well, in comics, they just recently did that with Wolverine. We talked about that the recent episode. Yeah, Wolverine now is in a polyamorous relationship
with Jean Grey and Cyclops.
With Jean and Cyclops. So that's kind of
I saw an article, not an article, but a post about that. But did you guys see the Watchmen series on HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did that also with John Boyega's character, the Hoodman. The Hooded Justice.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
that wasn't John Boyega. That was
that was John Boyega, the guy who played Hooded Justice in the HBO Watchmen.
So John Boyega from Star Wars.
That looked like John Boyega.
It's all good. But no, like my thing is, while you're checking, it's all good. It's great when you do it when you tell the story properly and with respect. When you're just trying to throw it in there as a cheap little, we have this too, we have black people too, we have Asian people too, we have gay people too, we have this, that too, and it's just done cheap, that's when I'm like, come on, that's bullshit. But when it's done like how Iceman's comic book story was done, that was done properly. The way they did Wolverines, to me, I was like, yo, what the hell? They're just throwing this in there now like it's just to grab people's attention to market Marvel. And that's disrespectful and cheap.
Yeah, when it's disingenuous, like CW does this all the time. There's a damn fly that flew in here.
Oh, with Mr. Fantastic?
No, like what CW would do is there'll be a character and then they'll just throw in a line. Like they'll be like, the character will be like, oh, I'm gonna go home and see my husband. I'll see you guys later. And they're like, all right, we checked that box. All right, we have an LGBT.
Yeah,
and that's it. And then they'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
What CW does is they, if it's a supporting character, they don't mind making them homosexual, but they won't make their white male leads characters that way. It's only the support, and most supporting characters are always minorities. So
like the cheeks.
So
they're always getting beat up and needing help from that one that white male. Because that was my problem with Arrow. Mr. Terrific was always getting the shit kicked out.
Oh, that's right, Mr. Terrific. I said Mr. Fantastic. And
then Arrow will always have to come save him. And the thing is, Mr. Terrific, he's supposed to be an Olympian athlete. He's supposed to be a really dope athlete. And he's supposed to be a genius. And he came up with those. I forgot the name of those balls. I know somebody's gonna come and hit me in the comments, but those were supposed to give him flight and all these different powers, and they like reduced him to Felicity's sidekick. Like Felicity is like this new white female character that they created for the show, and they basically reduced Mr. Terrific's intelligence to be her sidekick, pretty much.
Trash.
So
but on Watchmen, did you confirm that was John Boyega yet?
I know it wasn't, but that wasn't.
I'm telling you, that was.
But
John.
that story was at least done in a well way.
And see, I liked what they did overall.
Because he wasn't being true to himself to his core. You know what I mean?
Right, but here's the thing. His I felt like because they changed Hooded Justice's origin story, they didn't have to leave that part in there as well, because they changed his race. They changed like basically everything that we know from the actual Watchmen storyline. So I felt like, well, if that's the case, then why don't you go ahead and change his orientation? Because his orientation isn't going to further the plot. If this plot is about him, having to be a superhero in a white man's world, what does his sexuality have to do with that? The only thing I can say is that they kind of used that as a plot device was when the character ended up giving Hooded Justice his house after he passed away. Because maybe he loved him, quote unquote, but you could have still did that without making the character gay. So I don't know. I just feel like sometimes what I'm trying to say is I feel like sometimes it's on the line. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's on the line of being like, come on, that's trash. And
the actor was Jovan Depot. Adepo. He played Will Reeves for 3 episodes, so he looks like John Boyega, but he's not. He's an African man.
Oh wow! They look exactly alike.
Yeah.
I thought
he is the actor from the movie Overlord, and I thought that was John Boyega in that movie too. So yes, he looks like John Boyega.
Yeah, like I'm not out here just throwing wrong names in there. That dude look exactly like him.
Well, yeah, the jump in on the whole Watchmen story, like that character watched his town get burned down by white people. He kind of had like a chip on his shoulder towards white people. He would paint his face white just so he could so they thought Hooded Justice was a white man while he was fighting crime. And then for his character to have sex with a white man, like I didn't have a problem with his character being gay, but for him to have all that built up anger and then have sex with a white man, it seemed like it was out of character and bad writing.
No, all elements of him was hooded. Everything was unknown. Everything was hooded.
Yeah, his sexuality could have been hooded, which I understand.
Was.
It was, yeah. It was part of his
everything down to his core was hooded. His costume was just a costume, you know what I mean? But his true essence of who he was even hooded. He wasn't being his true self. All the way to the day once he lost his parents, he completely hooded everything about him. Man, was hood to the core, hood man, you know?
Yeah, that was a great series, though. I did like the story.
I love that. That was great.
I bought that on Blu-ray. But yeah, that was my only, gripe with it. I felt like that was forced in the story.
I felt bad ski masking that one. It was that good. It's like, damn.
And the bootlegged it. Y'all want to switch gears and jump into this Will Smith, Cena, Jada Pinkett?
Do it, man.
Yeah, let's
part 2.
This is part 2, yeah.
Yes.